You want to make sure all the members have all the information. You want to make sure when you're coming to the floor that you have the ability that you know where people stand and where they're going. It's a little different than the past. Some people, take the idea of a whip, you're going to whip people onto the votes. I take from the perspective, yeah, we'll work on bills very seriously that we think are very, very important. But what I've studied in the past, what is it, 1655, I think that's the number. Does anyone know what that number means? I was joking at our retreat. I put that number up and I said, it's not the number of cigarettes that Boehner smoked. It's not the number of vacations the president has taken. It's the number of bills and the number of times you voted in the last Congress. And the Democrats tried to claim that they had the most productive Congress. Well, it got them a minority and they had a country in turmoil. So I'm more concerned not at the number of bills, but the quality. So there might be some bills that actually fail that are Republicans, because if you let the system work right, if it needs to work in committee, needs to come in the floor, and the floor is much more open, we have an open debate, everyone got elected about the same number. You need to let the floor actually work. So the best thing a whip can do is provide information way in advance of everything that happens. So if someone needs an amendment, someone wants an amendment, let that voice get heard and let the will of the House work.
Now, your predecessor as Republican whip, Eric Cantor, now the majority leader, left behind a present from Texas.
Yes.
Tell us about it.
He got me a bullwhip. He didn't crack it, so I don't know if those two claim. But I will tell you, Eric, I met before I got into the House, but I give Eric a lot of credit helping us get the majority. From one place, when I came in 2006, Republicans lost the majority. I was in a class that was the smallest Republican class since 1914. There was only 13 of us. Not one of us defeated a Democrat incumbent. I came into a conference that were going through the different stages of despair. They didn't know what, they were lashing out, they were in denial. And in that stimulus debate was really where Republicans found themselves. And one thing Eric did, he brought a bunch of us together and we did a working group, but we wrote our own bill. We scored it, created twice as many jobs as half the money. I think it'd probably create more. If you take a poll today, more people believe Elvis Presley is alive than the stimulus created a job. But we united and we sent a different direction, a different message. And I think that was clear to the American public on which way they wanted to go. Like the president's speech last night, he is fantastic at giving a speech. I mean, the way Jeb always says, I agree with 80% of what I hear, I disagree with 80% of his actions. But if you listen to his speech, every answer meant bigger government. So there's a really philosophical difference still there that people will debate. And that's probably where the challenge will be as we go forward. It was always more government to make the investment instead of the private sector.
So this idea that suddenly Republicans and Democrats are going to work together for a few months seems unlikely.
Look, I think what's most productive is, even if you watched when we had on the floor repealing the health care bill, it was civil. We didn't have to hold members over to a Sunday where hopefully people weren't paying attention. We didn't have thousands of people marching around the Capitol in protest. You had a debate of ideas. And at the end of the day, the one with the majority of the ideas won. That's what the American people want. They don't want everybody to go in there and just hold hands. They want you to debate the bill, you get the very best, and move it out. That may mean we're going to have a difference of agreement. There's a reason why someone across the aisle got elected as a Democrat, because they philosophically believe government different than I do. Well, that's all well and good, and I respect that. Well, let's debate the best way to solve the problem. I think the American public wants that.